In this video, I'm going to talk about how I use my credit card to make back hundreds of pounds each year. What inspired me to make this video? Basically, I was talking to one of my friends a few weeks ago, and we was just talking about income and expenses, and she told me that she was making monthly payments on a credit card, and I was just like, that is crazy, man. Don't ever do that. I literally use mine to make me back money every year. So I'm gonna go through my process, my thinking process as well, how I do this and how you could do the same. This is not the only way. Obviously, there's a lot of talks online whether you should use debt to make money or you should just stay out there completely. In my opinion, I hate debt and I hate monthly payments. In my opinion, like, I usually stay away from all this shit. But if you can find a way to exploit it without actually getting yourself trapped, then I'm all for it if it can make your money back. Yeah, so I do believe that obviously credit and credit cards, it can be a good tool if you use it properly to maximize your purchasing power and obviously use it as leverage. And if you can get a good return on it, if you're just using it to buy dumb shit and getting yourself in debt just to flex, then you should probably think about it twice. I've claimed hundreds of pounds back in rewards, yeah, and obviously I usually use the money back to invest into my own things like this YouTube channel. In fact, yeah, this mic that I'm using right now, half of the money that I used to buy this came from Amazon voucher that I got from my credit card company. Obviously, if you're gonna spend money anyway, you might as well get a return on it. It's a no-brainer. Disclaimer, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you what you should do with your bread. I just like to share my processes with people online in case they can pick a thing or two and it might help them out. Before we start, if you're in any sort of high interest debt, then yeah, you might as well go pay that shit off before you even watch this, because you're probably not gonna benefit that much. Secondly, if you can't pay your credit card in full every single month, I'm not talking about the minimum payment, I'm talking about your statement balance. So if it says £2,000 statement balance, you need to be able to pay that in full. If you can't be able to pay what you spend in full, then you might as well click off. And thirdly, if you're an impulse buyer, then you might as well click off this, because it's not going to help you. If you see every single fucking ad on your For You page on TikTok or on your Instagram and you buy it, then this is not gonna be for you. You're already losing at the game. With that being said, let's get into the basics. Obviously, understanding the basics of the credit card. So yeah, credit card, what is a credit card? It's basically using the bank's money, someone else's money, to make purchases. At the end of the month, if you pay it back, no interest. If you don't pay it back, then they charge you interest. And the interest rates, they're usually fucking high, so I'm talking like 30% plus. Basically, if you can't pay it back, then they trap you, and then obviously they charge you interest on interest on interest on interest. So basically, like, if you don't know what you're doing, you can get screwed. Now let's get into the credit limit. So what's the credit limit? The credit limit is how much money you have available to you that you can spend, and ideally you want to be using less than 30% of your credit limit. So let's say your overall limit is like 10 grand, you don't want to be spending more than 3 grand. Reason being is, if you're spending over 30%, you're seen as desperate, and that actually reduces your credit score. Balance is how much you owe on your card. Example, this is my Amex credit card statement, and you can see here, this is my balance. And you can see here the minimum payment. So the minimum payment is how much you need to pay minimum for that month. But the problem being is, if every month, if you're just doing the minimum payment, then like I said before, these credit card companies are gonna fucking screw you. They're gonna fucking screw you with the interest rates. It can set you up back financially a lot. So you don't wanna be just doing the minimum payment, because I tell you what, if you're just doing the minimum payment, all that interest you're paying is coming to me, and I'm cashing out your interest payments every single year from the credit card company, because I'm going to use them to make money, but they're never going to use me. So the APR is the annual percentage rate, how much interest you have to pay every year. I'll be honest with you, this might sound crazy, but currently I've got like 3 cards. I don't even know what the interest payment, I don't even know what the APR is on them. I know it's going to be something crazy, but I don't care, because every single month, as soon as that thing comes, paid off. You get me? Sometimes I even pay it off before it even comes. Then we also have something called the annual fee. Certain cards, you have to have an annual fee. Example, on my Amex Gold, you have to pay every year to use it. I know it sounds crazy, man, like, but as long as whatever value you're getting out of it, you need to make sure that every year you're getting that £200 out of it. Minimum, the value you're getting out of the card is more than 200 for it to be worth it. Me currently, for my spending habits, it makes sense. But as soon as it stops making sense, you know I'm canceling that shit. Yeah, so you need to understand also is the statement cycle. So what's the statement cycle? So the statement cycle is the start and end date that your bill runs from. So example, on one of my cards, the Amex, the bill runs from the 1st to the 28th. So any purchases I make between the 1st of the month and the 28th, I get my bill on the 28th of that month. And I don't have to pay the bill till 22nd of the next month. That period in time between 28th this month and 22nd next month, that period is called grace period. What's the grace period? Simple. The grace period is that amount of time you have between when your bill comes and when you have to pay it, and you don't get any interest. That's the grace period. And finally, you need to understand credit score. I think most people know what the credit score is. It's basically usually a number between 1 and 1,000. The higher the better, and it basically tells lenders how trustworthy you are with credit. I've already done a video on this one. It was a few years ago actually. You can go and watch it. Bear in mind it was one of my first videos, so I might be a bit awkward on that. But yeah, anyway, let's get into my strategy. So basically, currently I've got 3 cards, and this works for me because I've got a card for like everyday expenses, and then obviously I like traveling and experiences. So I've got a card. The returns I get, I maximize the money that I'm spending anyway on flights and hotels. I maximize that to get rewards out. On my Amex, I think it's 1 point for every pound you spend. So if you spend £1,000, you get 1,000 points back. It depends what you use it for. We'll average between like £5 and £10 back. But obviously you want to be very careful because 1 point is not worth as much as £1. So you don't want to be chasing the points, because if not, you'll end up spending crazy money just to try and get points that are not worth as much as the money you're spending. So you have to be really smart with that one. But if I'm booking my flights anyway, if I'm gonna book a hotel anyway, if I'm gonna buy this camera right here that I'm using for my YouTube anyway, as long as I've got the cash there, this is very, very important. You need to have the cash. I'm not gonna have to spend money that I don't have physically in my account or in cash on my credit card, because that's how you get screwed over. So example, if I'm gonna buy this camera right here anyway, then what I do is I make sure I got the bread there. I buy it on my credit card. As soon as it goes through, I pay off straight away. Not only it gives you points back, which can be money off the items you buy, you also get protection. A few weeks ago, I checked one of my cards. I seen a transaction from Amazon. I'm thinking, what the hell was this? That wasn't me. I rang the credit card company. They said contact Amazon. Rang Amazon. To be honest, they were pretty useless, man. Like, I was asking them what was bought on it. They said they can't tell me what was bought. And I'm thinking, what the hell? But anyway, long story short, credit card company refunds me. I get my money back. Everyone's happy. I didn't do the payment. Basically, they cover your ass. Benefits of using a credit card. If I'm buying stock to flip on eBay, simple. I make sure I've got the money first. Pay through my credit card and then pay it back straight away. So I'm getting the return on the items that I'm about to go sell and make money on. If I'm traveling, cool. My Amex gives me free lounge access. I can go and sit in the lounge and chill before the airport and eat some food. Obviously, depends on your spending habit, man. You can adjust accordingly and choose whatever cards makes sense for your current situation. Obviously, I do understand that you have to spend money to kind of get the money back. But if it's money that you was gonna spend anyway, then this strategy totally makes sense. This is my current strategy. If you've got anything that you want to add to it, then yeah, just leave it in the comments.